I've been having an issue with my Nissan Pao reading a very high temperature gauge. I run through a few tests. Here, I'm just doing a test on it. Put a thermostat or a thermometer on the engine right next to the sensor there. Um, and I'm just running it. I just wanted to test to make sure that my fans were kicking on as it does here. Everything's running as it should. Just trying to eliminate things as much as I can. I had already replaced the thermostat. Right here, I'm just going to go ahead and check for a head gasket issue, getting the engine up to temperature, and I'm using this little kit that I got from Harbor Freight. You just put it on top, squeeze the bottle. If that blue fluid turns yellow, then you've got a head gasket leak. So I'm just going to run this test, and I'm seeing that the coolant is getting a little high. As your engine runs, builds more pressure, and that fluid just gets a little higher. So I'm just going to go ahead and evacuate some of that fluid, bring that level down, and then I'm going to start up the test again. With the fluid back down, we start it up, and we just start pumping. And I do this for about 10 minutes or so. I just wanted to be absolutely certain that there was no head gasket leak, that there was no combustion getting into the radiator. So I just kind of sped through all that. And as you can see here, nice and blue. Everything looking good. I do jump into testing all the sensors. I tested the one that's on the bottom of the radiator, and I also test the sending unit that goes to the gauge. So that's what I'm doing here. With the sending unit out, I go ahead and hook it up on a little test jig here. Got it in some water. Got the multimeters hooked up. The one on the left is the old one. The one on the right is the new one. As you can see, just sitting in cold water, that there is a difference in the ohms resistance. And yeah, this is just cold water. Go ahead and turn on the heat and just let it come up. This is fast forward by quite a bit. Right here at 120, we can see that the old one is reading 0.11, the new one at 0.27. So huge difference already. Let's go ahead and just kind of skip into the next set. So we're going to bring it up to 180, which is about the temperature that everything starts to kick on, your fan motor kicks on, your thermostat starts to open. So you can see there's some bubbles coming up on there. It's getting really hot. Got 0.038 and 0.113. So right there, massive difference in what your temperature gauge is going to be reading. I do bring it up to about 200. This is where I stop the test. I also let the water cool down, and I monitor the gauges some more just to make sure that everything's nice and leveled and even. With the test done, I go ahead and reinstall the new temperature sensor. Immediately after this, I go ahead and go for a test drive, get the engine nice and hot. And this is after running it. So now my gauge is actually a little bit low, but that is much better. Much, much better. I hope this information helps somebody out, because there's just not a lot out there for it.